Hey yo, what is up guys? It is I, DPX. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast DPX Talks for about an hour. And I got a guest today. Look at that. I told you I was going to get a guest on this month. For the second time, we got SquidWario. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Doing pretty well. How are you?
Me? Well, I'm good. Uh, so yeah, we're here to talk about some games, movies, shows, even a bit of wrestling. I think this might be the first time I'm talking about wrestling with a guest on the show, but yeah, it should be interesting. We'll go into some smaller topics. I'll say this: we have a lot more smaller topics than we do bigger topics, but some of the bigger topics, like there's a lot to say about them, so it evens out. So we'll just get right into it. This is old. Like this is like something big enough for like a bigger topic, but it's old, so that's why we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But the Nintendo Switch has been dominating the handheld market. And Nintendo has usually been dominating the handheld market with the Game Boys and the DSs, but then Sony came in, tried a little bit, but then kind of failed. PSP was good, and I'm not even gonna say the PS Vita was bad, but they both couldn't stand against the DSs. But anyways, now, Steam is taking a bit of a shot with basically they're you guys know. I'm not gonna explain this to you like you guys don't know, but they came in announcing basically their own version of the Switch. It's the Steam Deck. It's basically like a Switch, except I don't think you can put it in a dock. But it's basically a portable PC, which is cool. I'm not gonna say. You see, many people are saying like, "Oh, the people that are saying it's gonna fail are just Nintendo fanboys," and I mean that's kind of true. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but hey, I don't talk about it as much as I talk about Nintendo, but I love Steam as well. Steam is pretty sick. So I think this is definitely very cool. And my computer, like my PC, isn't made for like. I got this with the intention to play games on it, but it's not like made for crazy games. Like it's say, let's see, it's not made for. I'm trying to maybe like a more recent game that I got this year, Resident Evil Village. It's not made for a game like that, but maybe the Steam Deck might be. So yeah, the thing is it's like this isn't going to be the Switch killer. If you understand how big the Switch is and how much it's selling and how successful it is, like this isn't going to be the Switch killer. But it's good competition. SquidWario, what are your thoughts on the Steam Deck?
So I think it's cool, like how we're getting consoles similar to Nintendo Switch. But I think I can see good potential with this console. Honestly, like I know how popular Steam is, and there's plenty of games that I know my friends play on Steam. So I'm sure when this is out, like I'm sure everybody's gonna want this and really have a good time with this console, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't jump on pre-ordering it. A lot of people have already done that. But I wouldn't jump on pre-ordering it if it doesn't even have like a release date. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't even think it has a release window. Like, we have no idea when this is coming out. So yeah. Well, moving on to something I probably should have asked first because this is usually what I ask first when I have a guest on. But you know, uh, School Wario. Any games you've been playing recently?
Let's see. I mean, lately I've been doing a lot of Super Smash Brothers, and in honor of the Olympics, I ended up going back to Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympics.
Uh, the there's that I made a solo missions about it, so you may or may not know what I'm talking about. But the
If
Tokyo Olympic Games like video game,
mm-hmm.
you could play as Sonic. It's so funny.
Yeah, I saw. Like, there's the Sonic costume.
Yeah, but it's basically just Sonic in the game, and you can also make some really
Mm-hmm.
stupid characters. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I suggest you play that. Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there. Anything else?
Um, really, that's about it. Like, mostly I've been going with Mario and Sonic at the Olympics just because I have the Olympics vibes right now with the actual Olympics going on.
Yeah. You know, maybe we'll talk about the Olympics in a little bit. I haven't been keeping up with it, but it seems that you have. So,
Yeah.
but let's see. Anything else? Anything you've been watching? Wait. Before you answer that, anything else you've been playing? I
That's
already
about
asked
it
that.
for now.
Okay. Now anything you've been watching? Movies, shows?
Well, movies. I did see Space Jam: New Legacy. That
That
I
was
really liked
epic.
that movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a giant advertisement for HBO Max, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of fun. The movie's fun. You see, if I wanted to look at it as a movie, ignore all the irony, I have a running joke that Space Jam's the most epic thing of all time. If I
Mm-hmm.
want to ignore that joke and also just ignore the dumb fun in it, the movie's awful. But
Yeah. True.
I just the Looney Tunes characters playing uh, with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I mean, I guess the first one too, but this one as
Well,
well
yeah.
with LeBron James is just really funny. So it was entertaining, but yeah, it is not that good, but it's also very good. So sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of like mixed reactions. Like there was some stuff that I think could have been better with the movie, but like to be fair, it's probably one of the biggest crossovers Warner Brothers has ever done now. So you got to give some respect to the work in like the film.
Yeah, LeBron James. He's a good basketball player and all. He's not an actor. But people are
Yeah.
saying he deserves a Razzie. I wouldn't say he deserves a Razzie because he's not an actor. So
Hmm.
he's super limited. But and it's not even his. The more I think about it, I realize one major problem with him in the movie is that the writers try to write him in these emotional sequences. Like if you look at the first Space Jam movie, they didn't do that with Michael Jordan. They didn't try to give him an arc or whatever. They didn't try to give him some emotional moments. They try to make LeBron do that and it doesn't work. But
Yeah.
yeah, anything else you've been watching? Movies, shows?
Well, I mean, other stuff on HBO Max I've been watching was I've been binge watching Friends and really occasionally I'm looking back at like Impractical Jokers and The Misery Index.
Nice. Anything else?
Um, let's see. That's pretty much about it.
Alright. Pretty cool. Moving on to the next topic, is something that we'll be watching now that we know that it is coming in December. And I got super hyped over this. Cobra Kai season 4 got a teaser trailer the other day. I was on a huge Cobra Kai kick at the beginning of the year. SquidWario, you know that. Like every episode of Chilling with the Meekins,
Yeah.
I mentioned Cobra Kai in some way.
Mm-hmm.
For quite a
Yeah,
while.
we ended up doing a huge discussion on Cobra Kai in one Chilling with the Meecast episode. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That clip was 10 minutes long. Like we were talking for quite a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm stoked for Cobra Kai season 4. Like you didn't even need to show me a teaser or anything. Like you could just drop it and I'd be on it. But they didn't show too much. Like they showed a bunch of other, I guess whatchamacallit. They showed a bunch of footage that obviously wasn't from the show. It was just just stock footage of characters doing karate moves. And then they showed very briefly they showed a bunch of millisecond clips of obviously scenes from the show. One clip that really piqued my interest was I couldn't tell. Obviously, we weren't given the context, and I couldn't tell who this even was. But someone was. Squar, you watched the teaser, right?
Yes, totally, I
Yeah.
did.
Someone was running on one building and jumped to another building. I'm assuming a chase scene or something, like that one scene in the first Spider-Man. What the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? I want to know the context of that scene. What the fuck? Um,
Yeah, I know. Like the only characters I would see running and jumping off tall buildings would be like superheroes. You know?
yeah. Uh, I've been told rumors that Cobra Kai season 4 is like makes it look like a completely different show, and I have no idea what to make of that. Does
Yeah,
someone like fucking die in this? Do they go to do they go to space? Does that happen? Uh,
imagine.
um, I heard someone make a joke like, what if they end up going to space? Like, I mean, we got this fucking Spider-Man scene here. Like, maybe space
Yeah.
isn't too far off. I'm saying that like that's a possibility. But SquidWario, you saw the Cobra Kai season 4 teaser, and also not an exact date, but we're getting it in December, which is sick. What are your thoughts on the teaser?
So, I mean, of course, Cobra Kai. Like when the third season was out, that's when I got into the show, and really, it's an awesome show. But yeah, season 4 looks exciting. I'd say. And I know like we were kind of given like a cliffhanger at the end of season 3 as Johnny and Daniel had to team up against
That
Kreese.
was awesome.
So there's probably going to be like some epic karate fight at some point in that season as well,
Mm-hmm.
and where like Johnny and Daniel's teams are going to have to like basically beat Kreese, you know? So, but yeah, I think season 4 will definitely be as epic as season 3 in my point of view.
If not more. The stakes are really
Totally,
high here,
absolutely.
and I think the stakes are going to be even higher now that they're bringing Terry Silver back.
Yeah.
And he's in the teaser. I don't know if any of you caught that, but like he's in it for like a split second. So yeah. Anything else on that?
Hmm. Well, I mean, all I just said, I'm gonna say is just again, hopefully this will be just as epic, if not better, than the third season. But other than that, I can't wait.
Yep, me neither. Maybe I said I was gonna start doing spoiler discussions of my podcast, and I only did that with WandaVision. I guess other things just didn't really line up, but maybe with season 4 of Cobra Kai, maybe we'll do that.
All
We'll
right.
have to
Yeah.
wait and see. It has to do with the timing, like
Mm-hmm.
so. Yeah. Anyways, another brief topic. We got two more. This one I don't think we're gonna be saying too much on, but SquidWario. I actually don't know if you have or not. I don't think I've asked you this before. Have you been watching, or have you seen any of the new Clone Wars spin-off series, The Bad Batch?
I haven't really watched much of it because actually I don't really have Disney Plus,
Oh,
but
you don't?
I've definitely heard about it, and I did hear about like the new season that's coming
Yeah.
out in 2022.
Yeah. Well, I'm. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna say like the Bad Batch is like phenomenal or anything, cause it's this one season is 16 episodes long, which is quite big. Like that's like the two seasons we have The Mandalorian, they each have 8 episodes. This one season is just as long as the 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. But then again, it's sort of like I guess it's a show like the Clone Wars. That show had seasons that were like 20 to 30 episodes long. So this is kind of nothing in a way. And here's the thing: there are like really good episodes here and there, but a lot of it's filler. Like there was one like it was the first episode, which is like an hour long. Like the first episode's like a movie, which was really good. And then a bunch of other just filler episodes. And then episode 8 came out. I think it was episode 8. I don't want to give any spoilers since you haven't seen it. But a certain character comes back, I'll say that. If you guys probably know what I'm talking about. And if you do, correct me if I'm wrong if it's not episode 8. But anyways, it was before that. Funny story. It was before that where I'm like, okay, I'll watch this one episode. Like as I was gonna watch that one episode, episode 8. I'll watch this one episode. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep watching this show. It's not really doing much for me. I watch that. The crazy thing happens at the end. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll keep watching. So yeah. It's about to conclude, and I will say the past few episodes have been pretty entertaining. And we're getting a season 2, which at first I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But then I realized, the animated shows, at least the Clone Wars, started off kind of mediocre. The Clone Wars started off like the way the Clone Wars started and the way the Clone Wars ended is like night and day. Like the show came a long way. So if we're gonna get more seasons of the Bad Batch, then that if going by tradition, that should mean that the show is going to get better and better over time. So, I am excited for season 2. So, yeah, SquidWario, anything you have to say about the Bad Batch season 2?
So yeah, I mean, again, just like as we said with Cobra Kai, hopefully this upcoming season will be better than the previous. Now, again, like I don't have Disney Plus, so unfortunately I can't actually watch the show, um, but I am hoping, like, for other Star Wars fans out there, that they do end up enjoying watching the second season of the show.
Alright. And we got one more. I don't see us talking about this one for... Oh, we got 2 more. Yeah, one of them is nothing... well, this one is strange. This one is just, like, a little... like, mention. 2 years ago, 3 years ago actually, to the day, like 3 years ago from yesterday, Nintendo had a YouTube video on their channel. It was a little video called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate August 8th, 2018 Direct. And they removed it. Very weird. There's really not much to say about this. It's just very weird that they removed this direct. And even people were like, maybe they want to do a direct this year on the 8th. And it's like, then why would they remove why would they remove that one? It just doesn't make sense. I think it's just maybe an oopsie on their part. But if it is an oopsie, why, I think it's still removed. Which is really weird. Wario, anything to say about this? Because it's just weird.
Yeah, I find it awkward, and really, like, around this time 3 years ago is when this direct happened. So, I just find it completely weird and just out of the blue that Nintendo would do something. But on an article I actually read online, it said something like, because that's also when, like, the Castlevania characters were revealed for the game.
Yeah.
So, like, what I read online is maybe some people were thinking it was because maybe Nintendo had something going on with Konami, the company that owns Castlevania. I mean, that's what some people are thinking. Not sure if that's really true, but
if that was the case, then I like this the Smash the E3 reveal would be removed too because Snake is in there.
True, right? So. Yeah, Metal Gear is also owned by Konami. But yeah. But I don't know. Like, honestly, it's just something entirely weird out of the blue, in my opinion. And really, I just don't know what else to say because it's just unexpected, honestly.
It's weird. And there's no, I don't think, people are looking for, explanations or speculating, why did Nintendo remove this video? I don't think you'll find an answer. I don't think there's any, answer you can find by speculating. It's just something that they either did by accident or did... Honestly, I think it's by accident. Why would they remove the video?
Yeah, I know. And I think that was, one of the best, videos Nintendo even released as of 2018.
Yeah. So maybe they did it by accident and they didn't realize it. And they still haven't, even though people have been talking about it. So, I don't know. Anything else to say on that before we move on to the bigger topics?
I mean, maybe if we're lucky, maybe Nintendo will somehow bring the video back, but I don't think that's going to be likely, though, now.
I mean, even then, I think, other channels like GameSpot and IGN have re-uploaded it anyways, as they do for most trailers and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you, for some reason, still want to rewatch that direct, I'm sure one of those channels have it. So, yeah, all right, moving on to the bigger topics. We got quite a few big topics. again, I said not too many big topics, but like we got 3 in particular that are pretty big. We'll start with one that's been going on for quite a bit, and it's still going, you know. And I've been wanting to talk about this, and I'm happy I got a guest on here because you wouldn't want to hear me rant about this by myself. Will you excuse me for a second, SquidWario? Because I still will go off.
No problem, man. Do what you gotta do.
I will consider the fact that you are here and try not to go off for too long. But
All right.
you guys, I think I've made my opinion on Blizzard very clear. I don't agree with the shitty business stuff that they pull. Stuff like, you know, like years ago when they banned Blitzchung for speaking out about the Hong Kong protests which were going on at the time. Long story short, Blitzchung was a competitive Hearthstone player. And then he won a tournament. He was being interviewed by 2 people after the tournament, and he said something about Hong Kong and the protests. I don't remember exactly what he said. He said something like political about it. And then Blizzard banned Blitzchung, took away his prize money, and cut ties with the interviewers. The interviewers did nothing, so I don't know why, but they later they gave Blitzchung's prize money back, but he was still banned. It's been long enough. His ban has probably ran out, but anyways. And then later on, they released Warcraft 3 Reforged, which was completely different from the footage that they showed. It was nothing at all like that. It was a whole big controversy. That's probably one of my favorite rants on this podcast. I ranted about that on here. So I decided, you know what, fuck Blizzard, they don't deserve my money. But a lot of time went by, and while I haven't completely softened up on them, it's sort of like, well, they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't been pulling too much shit to, so maybe, like, you know, Diablo 2 Resurrected is coming out, and it looks pretty decent. Maybe I'll buy that, you know. Overwatch 1's a really good game, maybe I'll buy Overwatch 2. But I don't know, Blizzard, fuck that. Because of what came out recently is disgusting. And there's so many layers to this as well. Like, there are like 4 chapters here. So, sexual harassment and shit like that, sexual misconduct rather, this is more what that is nothing new in the gaming industry. You know, you had reports of this going on in Ubisoft, and then in Riot Games. There's another company that I'm forgetting, and this even happened in the Smash community. Although that's not a gaming company. That's more just players. But still, it still happens with in video game circles. You know, so this is nothing new. But I like. With Blizzard, I don't want to belittle, like, any of the other stuff. That's not what I'm trying to do. But with Blizzard, like, some of this shit is way more extreme. Like, honestly, a lot of the stuff is so disgusting. I don't even want to, like, I don't even want to, like, say specifically, like, some of the stuff that happened. How some guy came with, like, would bring butt plugs and lube. That's the most I'll say, alright? That's disgusting. And even one woman committed suicide on a business trip, and the people were sharing her nudes around. It's disgusting. And there was even one of the employees literally had, like, his hotel room was literally called the Cosby Suite. And it's not like a thing where it's like, oh, this thing's now the Cosby Suite. It wasn't like a one-time thing where they called it that. It was known as the Cosby Suite. Like, how do you let that happen? How the fuck do you, like, have this shit? How do you, like, I don't even know how to say it. How do you, like, and then there's other shit like, you know, then Blizzard employees stage a walkout. They walked out of Blizzard, which is a good thing. Do that. And then J. Allen Brack, the the president. I don't know if he's the I don't. He was like some sort of like leader of Blizzard, who apparently was like made it all toxic and shit. He stepped down. Actually, I don't know if he stepped down or if he quit or if he got fired. I don't know, but the point of the matter, the fact of the matter is that he's not a part of Blizzard anymore, and that's good. He get his ass out of there, but that's not enough. It's not going to do anything. And what gets me mad about this the most is that Blizzard, they do not care. Like, they don't, like, you see, like, after the allegations, what do? They give out some stupid fucking apology being like, we care so much about our community and our employees, and we try to... It's like, fuck off. Fuck off. Just don't apologize about this shit. Just fucking do something about it. Change the leadership. Fire the people on the spot. They, like, are fucking scumbags and don't deserve to be in here. Stop giving these stupid apologies, and they apologized for their apology. Stop apologizing for shit. Just do it. Just take action. And it's still going. There's like a class action lawsuit against Blizzard. Like thousands of people are suing Blizzard, and I hope they fucking lose. Not the people, Blizzard. I hope they fucking lose. 'Cause honestly, like, don't support Blizzard. Boycott them. Like, those of you who are playing Overwatch, Diablo, Warcraft, you know, don't buy the new Call of Duty. Battlefield 2042 looks phenomenal. Buy that instead. You know, those of you playing Warcraft, play Final Fantasy 14. That game is probably way better. You know, those of you who are playing Overwatch, there are so many other hero shooters out there. Those of you playing Diablo, like, there are many other options for you. You can, like, I don't know, it's just disgusting, and, like, the way you gotta hit them where they hurt the most, you know? Don't support them, don't give them money, because, in a way, your money kind of goes to this shitty behavior. So, yeah, that was my little, rant on, Blizzard. SquidWario, what are your thoughts on just everything I said here?
Yeah, totally. First off, yeah, like, it is truly disgusting how, like, these people are acting, and, like, this is all, like, unacceptable behavior here, and, you know, like, and if, like, they keep it up, like, this is where, like, their company is going to go bankrupt, because no one's going to want to support them, and, like, it's only going to make things worse on their point, you know, so overall, like, Blizzard, yeah, not really that good if they're just going to keep up with this, like, unacceptable behavior, you know, but yeah, honestly, like, they better, like, learn to do better, or they're just gonna end their business, you know?
Yeah, and, like, I like, there are, I'm sure, not everyone in Blizzard is, doing this shit, but the people that are, like, it's like, people have been reported to the boss, and, those people that get reported, nothing happens to them, because they're friends with the boss. It's like, throw that shit away. Fire them on the spot. Like, it's ridiculous. And Blizzard, they don't care. They don't care. They'll just keep, all they want is your money. And if that's all that they want, then don't give it to them. You know, it seems like they've given up on making good games. They just want you to give them your money. So now that you know this, don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. You know, because this money goes to, in one way or another, this money goes to this shitty fucking behavior. And it's awful. So, yeah, any final thoughts, SquidWario?
Like, all I'm just gonna have to say is just do better, you know? Like, they just gotta do better, or else, like, they're gonna, like, pay the price and learn the hard way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've done a lot quicker with that than I thought. But we're not done with the rants, because we got another topic that's honestly very big. It got big in movie circles, and even big in, like, some, like, people that talk about video games got a hold of this, because this is pretty big. So, a little backstory. Disney. I love Disney. You know, they have such classics. So many movies, so many shows, so much shit. And Tim, I hope you're watching this, but but it was like late last year where they announced that the numerously delayed Mulan was not going to hit theaters and was going to hit Disney Plus for a premium $30 price. And a lot of people were mad, but I was thinking, like, $30 is definitely steep, and especially for a movie like this that I don't want to support. It's another thing I don't support, these live-action Disney remakes, but I get it, because Mulan was supposed to be a big blockbuster in the theaters, but they had to release it, you know. One of those, like, they can't keep pushing back all these movies, and I think the Mulan movie might have been delayed a few times even before the pandemic, so yeah, it made sense that I mean, I understood why they would put it on Disney Plus for $30, but there's a lot of controversy in there. And then they did it for Raya and the Last Dragon, which that was different because, like, Mulan only released on Disney Plus for $30. Raya and the Last Dragon released on Disney Plus for $30, but also in theaters. I don't know how well it did on in theaters, but I hear that the Disney Plus numbers were not good. And it definitely affected the theater numbers. But then again, COVID was still, you know, in its, like, the times were still a little different there. And then the same thing happened with Cruella. Released it both in theaters and on Disney Plus for $30. Similar thing happened. Then we get to Black Widow, which, like, you know, gets released in theaters and on Disney Plus for $30. And we'll get back to that one. And then they did it with Jungle Cruise. Okay, back to Black Widow now. But so yeah. However, one thing that apparently wasn't. What am I saying? One thing that kind of fucked up Black Widow was there are contractual agreements, and Disney and Scarlett Johansson and her management, like, agreed to have this movie play in theaters. That was the agreement. And then the movie didn't play in theaters. It did play in theaters, but it was on Disney Plus. By the way, when I say play in theaters, I mean, like, exclusively play in theaters. It did play in theaters, but not exclusively. Now, that's all well and good, as long as they, you know, talked about it, you know? But apparently that isn't the case. Apparently, Disney announced that, Black Widow is coming to Disney Plus and in theaters in July, or whatever. And Scarlett Johansson and her legal team were like, hey, you know, let's talk about this, you know, and Disney would not talk about it. So, yeah, now Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney. Well, this is big, because I've heard people, like, from the inside say, like, you know, they've had 5 movies to do this, like, $30 Disney Plus release, and Jungle Cruise was the last one as of now. But as of now, they don't have any others in the pipelines. And maybe that's a good thing. They shouldn't, because, like, or at least, like, talk about it, because, like, what is this shit? What, like, you just blindsided ScarJo? Like, she's been loyal to to you guys, to Disney, for almost since, like, almost since the beginning of the MCU, you know? And it's like, well, you know, it still released in theaters, and it's COVID. Disney put out a really shitty statement, like basically revealing ScarJo's salary and saying like she has no regard uh, for the pandemic. It's like this has nothing to do with the pandemic. Let's be real. It's like you have like sure the pandemic might have impacted your decision to put this on Disney Plus, but your decision to not discuss this with ScarJo, COVID had nothing to do with that. It didn't. So yeah, it's kind of nasty. It's not. This is not a good look for Disney, and Scarlett Johansson. I don't think her relationship with Disney is any good moving forward. Because like she's been loyal to them since she started working. She started being a part of the MCU, and this is what happens. And we hear rumors that Emma Stone for Cruella is thinking of launching her lawsuit. We've heard Emily Blunt might be doing the same for Jungle Cruise. So it's a messy situation for sure. SquidWario, what do you think? What do you think about Scarlett Johansson suing Disney? Do you think there's some stuff we don't know about? Do you think maybe Disney, is in the right? People say that before you say that, people say like, oh, it's like some contract thing where Disney's able to do. No, you still gotta fucking discuss it with ScarJo. So yeah. Anything you gotta say, SquidWario?
Well, yeah, I can kind of agree with her, like, because I'm sure it's about like just being on Disney Plus, really, and like, and it's totally not because of COVID, right? Like, I think Disney is taking too much advantage of their own streaming service now. I feel, um, and like this has been said for a while, like how like Disney Plus is kind of like Disney's new way of cinema, really. Like they don't really release much in theaters anymore. Like it's mostly now prioritizing the streaming service. And that's really with many studios nowadays too, not just Disney.
Yeah.
Um but but yeah, honestly with her suing Disney, like honestly, like I guess like maybe Disney should be a little more courteous to like their actors and their stars, I'd say. And I feel like maybe like they should the right thing to do is that Disney should ask the star or the actor like for permission about like film releasing, honestly.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, that's about it with what I would have to say.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, it's a messy situation. You know, I this. Do you even think this will go to trial? Because you can see, unless there's like, uh, unless there's stuff we don't know about, which there could be. Unless there's stuff we don't know about, like, you see who's right and who's wrong. So do you think this will ever go to trial?
Um like hopefully it doesn't go too far. That's all I'm going to say, but honestly, like if it I really kind of hope it doesn't because really like if it goes to trial, that's when things are like going to go too far and at the same time like I don't want like harm to happen to Disney, especially now since they're one of the most dominating companies in the world. Like at the same time, I kind of don't want that to happen to them, like where they end up getting harmed by like their actors.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is definitely messy. Um, they don't seem to be doing this sort of release thing with Shang-Chi or Eternals. So and they don't seem to be doing this with what other movies do they have coming out? Encanto, their new animated movie. They're not doing that with this. Weirdly, they didn't do this with Luca this year. They just had it released on Disney Plus for free, which
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that you put it on Disney Plus, good thing you put it there for free. But on the other hand, it's like that could have gone in theaters. I would have gone to the theater to see that. Like I went to the theater to see Mortal Kombat, and then the next time was to see Black Widow. So that was like a good gap. I I could have gone in there to see Luca. Uh, so it's weird. It's honestly kind of inconsistent now that I just brought that up. How they're doing this whole like Disney Plus theater premium thing, whatever. So yeah, any final thoughts, SquidWario?
So again, I mean, hopefully, like, there's no harm on either side. And really, like, if I were in the situation, I would have hated to take sides, you know. But like, I'm sure like the actors do have a point, but at the same time, like, you don't want to cause harm on the Walt Disney Company, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So next topic. Um, the rants keep coming. Uh,
Yep.
so you guys know, I this is basically the only place I ever talk about wrestling. I'm I have a bit of a love hate relationship. I think a lot of the stuff they do is really stupid. Like even like beyond booking wise, you know, a lot of like some of the on screen stuff can be dumb, but it's fun. You know, it's just it's fun stuff. But there's here's the issue. Is Vince. Vince McMahon is still in charge, and he's like what 70, like he's late 70s, like he should not still be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So and the thing is, if you look at this year, this is nothing new where they cut a lot of people from their roster every year. They cut a good number of people, but this year's insane. There are four separate occasions where they released a whole chunk of talent, and it's like stupid. They released people in April, then they released another batch in June, and then another batch later on in June, and then they released Bray Wyatt like separately, but for the same reason, which like baffles me. And then earlier this, like about a few days ago, actually, they released a good chunk of people from NXT, and it's it's for roster cuts, it's for budgetary reasons. They're trying to maximize profits, but there has to be other ways to do that. Like the ones that baffle me the most is Bray Wyatt. Like he's been with the company for years, and he's like a top merchandise seller. Like since he debuted his new Fiend character, like he's his like his merchandise has been like bestseller, and now they've just released him for budgetary. That makes no sense. How does he like? How does someone like Bray Wyatt, who's been selling a bunch of merchandise for you guys, like if you cut him, how is that like budgetary? You're just cutting him, you know. That makes no sense. Braun Strowman's another one. He hasn't been selling as many merchandise as Bray Wyatt has, but it's like he was in a world title match. Like that was his last match before he got fired. Like what the fuck? What are you doing? And it's like there are better ways to do this. Like, and it's even like you cut people like Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman for budgetary reasons, which fuck off with that. But you keep someone like Goldberg around. No disrespect to Goldberg, he's definitely like a legend in the business, but like he's in his late 50s, and he's not his abilities in the ring are very limited right now. But they keep throwing him like in championship matches, and he gets the opportunity instead of younger stars. That it's said a lot, but it's true. The WWE, their biggest problem right now is their inability to build new stars, and they rely on older talent. Like even John Cena, during the Suicide Squad premiere, which we'll talk about Suicide Squad in a bit later because there's something that came out about that. But like he was asked about WWE, and he said like the biggest problem is that they can't make new stars. If John Cena's saying that, then like that shows that the only person who doesn't think that is Vince McMahon, which is scary. People are saying this is like WCW when they were about to like in their last days. I wouldn't say it's that bad because WCW was really bad when they were going out, but this is really really dumb the way that they're trimming their roster. But like I get like there are many people that they cut many people that obviously they're not doing much with. They're cutting people that maybe you didn't even know were still employed, so like that makes sense. Unfortunate, it's never good to see people get fired unless it's like controversy or whatever, but like someone like Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, who they like re-debuted and then fired like immediately afterwards, is like it's like no, there has to be a better way to do this, and there are apparently more cuts coming. Like what? SquidWario, I don't know if you're like as know much about wrestling as I do. That's not no offense, but like so I don't know how much you can really contribute here. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on these firings? Because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah. Now this is where like firing should be unnecessary. Like I mean, unless they did something really bad and they got into serious trouble, like then I can see that being the reason they're all getting fired. But like to see that many people getting fired, I think something's going on with WWE. But honestly, like if it's something bad and like they're just doing it because like I don't know why, like then it's certainly unnecessary, I feel.
There are rumors that they want to like. This is the main reason they're doing this is to maximize their profits. So they're trying to. These are budget cuts,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to. There are rumors that they want to sell the company, which is strange, especially since Vince McMahon's still in charge. Like he wants to sell the company, but
Yeah.
again, like Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black, like they like why cut them, like and that's just not all of them. Like they cut a lot of like women as well, and they like to boast about how good their women's division is. But like with how many women they cut this year as well, I'm not saying that as like as separate. They're a part of the cuts, but still, like you look at their women's roster, there's like no one. There's like probably I can if you on Raw and on SmackDown if you want to count every woman on Raw, it'll be like probably a single digit number, and the same would you could say about SmackDown, maybe even on like fucking one hand, like it's like absurd. So yeah, any final thoughts?
I mean, yeah, like honestly with WWE just really again like hopefully like they get their acts together on everything and like hopefully like and really like all these people getting fired probably do deserve better at the same time, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got a Discord topic now. In case you guys don't know, there's the MeCast Discord server in the description of both this audio version and the YouTube version. Go down below, join the server, and there, if you scroll down, there'll be a channel called Podcast Topics where I post a poll listing 3 podcast topics. The winner, which you decide, the winner gets talked about. And we got 3 topics today. The issue with games as a service. Possible sleeper hit games of 2021. And will the upcoming movies of the rest of 2021 get people coming back to the theaters? And the winner... Oh, we got a tie.
Ooh.
The issue with games as a service, and will the upcoming movies for the rest of 2021 get people coming back to the theaters? SquidWario, I'll let you choose, since you're the guest.
So, let's see. So I'm just looking at the topics right now, actually.
I didn't say it in the list.
Oh, my bad. So wait. Just forgive me. What were the topics again? I was just trying to
So
look for them. Actually,
the
thinking.
two that are tied are the issue with games as a service, and will the upcoming movies for the rest of 2021 get people coming back to the theaters?
All right. How about we do issues for gaming with the service?
Okay, that's been like on the polls for like ever. So good thing we're knocking that one out.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know, games as a service is like a live service game. Think Fortnite, pretty much. Fortnite's a game
Hmm.
is a games as a service game. Although I don't like Fortnite, but it's not for this reason. Fortnite's a free to play game, so it gets some leeway. But here's my problem with games as a service, and I feel like this was more like, oh, this was more prevalent with games like Avengers and stuff like that, which is when I started like putting these in, putting this question in the polls. So now it's not. It's still pretty relevant though. Um, they're live service games. That's really the better term for them, as opposed to games as a service games. That just sounds dumb. But here's the problem: you come out with a game that is half baked at best, if not completely broken at worst. Some of those have been completely broken, and the intention isn't to release a fully fledged, polished game at launch. The intention is to release a game at launch, whatever the state of it may be, and then have people come back for months and months and months and see the game get better. And that is not what you should do. At least not charge $60 or now $70 for it, because games are 70 now. Like, a game like Avengers, I don't know if that's the best example, just because I've heard that the campaign in that game is not too bad, but still, like, the game did not seem done cooking when it was released, and it released, and of course, it was mediocre at best. You have games like Fallout 76 where they charge you $60 for a game that was absolutely disgustingly broken, and they've still been updating it over time, and apparently I've heard it's gotten better, but like, you're still playing this game? But it's, I don't really, that's the issue. And then you get announced about games like Babylon's Fall, which I was kind of intrigued about when going into Square's E3, and then not only did the footage they show look pretty rough, but they announced that it's a live service game. It's like, come on, guys, really? Why would, like, Platinum Games, like, their thing is that like they're good at like contained stories. Why are they making a fucking live service game? And there's like Indiana Jones, the Bethesda's Indiana Jones is an intriguing thing. It's supposed to be a live service game. It's like, why? Why are these don't look, Fortnite, again, I don't like Fortnite because I don't think the game's very fun. But if you're saying I don't like the game because it's a live service game, that's not true. It's a free to play live service game. They're not like, they want you to keep coming back to it, but you don't spend $60 on it to begin with. A game like Avengers, they want you to keep coming back to it, but they also want you to spend $60 on it to begin with, and that's a problem. I can't believe I'm saying this, but more of these live service games should be like Fortnite. And I really don't like Fortnite, but if you want to be a live service game, be free. Be free to play. Be like Apex. Be like almost every battle royale game. Almost all of them are free because they know what they are. They know that they shouldn't cost any more than free. So yeah, SquidWario, what are your thoughts on live service games?
Well, again, like similar to your thoughts, really. Like like it should be free, and live service games, like it's a good way to interact and play video games with friends and competitors. But like like there are certainly things that I think need to be better with like this with the actual service of the game, Um but yeah, honestly like there's good and bad with these type of video games today.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
That's about it with that topic, really.
All right. So didn't spend too long on that. There's not a whole lot to say on something like that, really. We'll move on to the next topic, which is something that kind of just dropped today. And it's something that kind of saddens me. It's not gonna be another rant. All right, you don't have to hear that. But the Suicide Squad came out last Friday, and I loved it. By the way, it was so funny. It was heartwarming too. It was like they had heart, and it was funny, and it wasn't a jumbled, forgettable mess like the 2016 movie. This movie was fucking awesome. The fact that you have characters like King Shark and Polka Dot Man and Weasel and fucking Starro in the movie is amazing. But apparently it flopped at the box office this weekend. That hurts. Because this movie's it might be my movie of the year. You need to watch this movie if you... Squid, have you watched the movie yet?
Not yet, but I'm thinking of soon, actually.
You gotta watch it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hard R as well. And that's exactly what it should be. The ultra violence, and it's like it's awesome, but it saddens me to hear that this flopped at the box office. Now why did it? What other reason? The co-release on HBO Max. I mean, well, I say that, but like Godzilla vs. Kong, that had a pretty good box office result in the theater. So did Mortal Kombat, at least for a pandemic, So what happened to Suicide Squad? Actually, what happened? I don't maybe it was the R rating. Because it might have been that, actually. That and the HBO Max thing. Because, I'm sure a lot of people watched it on HBO Max. I heard, my friend Ramkid was talking to me about how, I was actually originally asked if he wanted to see it with me. He's like, I'm going on vacation. Maybe I'll, if I can't find a movie theater, maybe I'll watch it on HBO Max. So that's probably what he did. I'm sure a lot of people watch it on HBO Max, but also it was the R rating. That's why, because this movie should be rated R. A lot of people say, and I kind of agree, Birds of Prey shouldn't have been rated R. There was definitely a lot of cursing in that and some violence, but it wasn't you could have cut those out and the movie could have been PG-13. Yeah, this movie no, if you wanted to cut shit out to make it PG-13, you would have had to cut out so much, and and it made the movie better. I feel I'm not one of those people who fucking touches himself to violence and shit, but I a lot of these violent and gory deaths mean more if they're violent and gory, if you know what I mean. But the issue is, if you make it rated R, this is through no fault of the film, but if you make it rated R, it's not gonna appeal to everyone, the first Suicide Squad film was, it was dog shit. It was so bad. I don't remember anything from it. It's almost like I didn't even see it. But it did very well at the box office. One of those reasons is it just wasn't rated R. So anyone was really able to go and see it. This movie is no, it's R. And a hard R as well. SquidWario, you should definitely watch it. But
yeah,
just know there's some very gory shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, that's probably why it got R-rated, because like there's too
oh,
many bloody
definitely, yeah.
deaths.
But believe me when I say this, this movie is gorier than the Mortal Kombat movie. Mortal
Right.
Kombat, known for being gory. I mean, obviously the
Oh yeah.
movies haven't been as gory, but like there are a few scenes in particular in the Mortal Kombat movie from this year that are pretty gory. Like, uh, a character gets their intestines opened up. Like, I'd say this is
That,
gorier than that.
yeah, that is an obvious R-rated scene right there.
Um, yeah, but it's unfortunate that this movie didn't do so well at the box office. I hope, honestly, this movie I feel like can get a sequel. I mean, this movie's technically already. I don't know if I can really call it a sequel though, just because like they brought back 4 characters from the first one, and but like but it's not only that they brought back 4 characters from the first one, and then had other characters like replace like Deadshot from the first one. He's not in this one. I know SquidWario. If you watch the trailers, it might seem like Deadshot's in this one. The guy who Idris Elba plays, but that's not Deadshot. It's obviously what they're it's obvious what they're trying to do though, but that's not Deadshot.
Try and trick viewers, yeah.
Yeah, that's Bloodsport. And then they got King Shark in there, who I fucking love King Shark. I think I pre-ordered a pop vinyl for King Shark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's obviously there to replace like Killer Croc, you know. Little side note: John Cena's in the movie. Funny how we were talking about wrestling earlier, but John Cena's in the movie. I don't really know who I don't think he replaces anyone, but like it's so funny hearing him talk about dicks and stuff. I know him as like the family friendly wrestler, you know, the guy who the kids look up to, you know, hustle, like what was the thing, like hustle, loyalty, respect, or something like that. Talking about murdering children, it's so funny. It's funny because it's John Cena, really. But
Yeah.
nah, but I'm getting sidetracked. This is a fantastic movie. My movie of the year, probably. It's a fantastic movie. People should go see it. It's probably best experienced in a movie theater, but you do you, I guess. SquidWario, what are your thoughts on the Suicide Squad flopping at the box office?
I find it ironic how like it didn't get good like with the box office, like because it seems like a really epic movie. Like I know there's like a lot of violence and blood and it's R-rated, but still like I'm sure it really is a excellent movie to watch. And like obviously it's not family friendly, but still like for people our age, if they want to like get together and watch a movie with their friends, like I feel this would definitely be a movie they should watch, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else on that?
Um I'd say that's about it for my thoughts, really.
All right. We got probably one more topic. So yeah, there's one more topic we got. Sorry about the pause. Something came in my room. So there have been rumors. This probably could have been a briefer topic just because it's old, but we can probably say quite a few things about this. But there have been rumors. I think they're still going too. That some GBA games will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I didn't grow up with the Game Boy Advance. I grew up more with the DS. But I do know that the Game Boy Advance is fantastic. It's got some great games on there. This started with rumors that they were bringing back a lot of the Castlevania GBA games. And this is when I was like, I think this was when Castlevania Season 4, the Netflix series, which y'all should watch definitely, dropped, and I was on a kick of Castlevania games, and then they dropped this news or this rumor, and it's like, okay, I'll be down, because the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games are some of the best Castlevania games. You got Aria of Sorrow, you know, games like that. It's like, definitely re-release those. If like Aria of Sorrow alone, I'd be cool with replaying. But then you have there's just some other rumors that more Game Boy Advance games will be coming to Switch, probably through the Nintendo Switch Online. Which you can tell that you can tell Nintendo's kind of running out of ideas for SNES games to put on Nintendo Switch Online when they put fucking Jelly Boy on there. The fuck is that? So I look. Don't comment below being like, "Hey, I love Jelly Boy." No, you don't. You don't know what that game is. I don't even know what that game is. All right. But yeah, I guess SquidWario, what are your thoughts on this? Maybe tell me what 3 Game Boy Advance games would you like to see if they do this?
So if they do this, yeah, the Game Boy Advance does have a decent amount of good games. So really, I would say any of the Sonic Advance titles were really good. So I'd love to see that on Switch.
I thought you were gonna say the Sonic Genesis port. And I was gonna
that was pretty good too, actually. No, yeah, really any.
I was gonna kick you off of the podcast because that port is fucking awful. The port of the first Sonic game on Genesis. Good thing you say that.
Yeah, there's some flaws I'd say for the Game Boy Advance version, though. To be fair, but really, other than that, I'd say pretty much all the Sonic titles on Game Boy Advance were actually pretty good. So, but I'd especially say Sonic Advance, all 3 of those games.
No, the Sonic Advance games are definitely good.
Yeah, I would definitely love to see those on Switch. But other games besides Sonic on Game Boy Advance, I think I'd like to see maybe the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong on there, maybe.
Forgot about that game.
Yeah, and I think there's even a Banjo-Kazooie game on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
Grunty's Revenge.
I think, yeah. I think there's 2. I think Grunty's Revenge and Banjo Pilot.
Yeah, that too.
Those are both on the Advance. Yeah. Well, my top 3 games, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, of course, I said that already. Metroid Fusion and Golden Sun. Damn, Golden Sun, Nintendo's gotta acknowledge that Golden Sun exists, man. I feel like they've forgotten. I would say Advanced Wars. Advanced Wars is pretty sick, but they're re-releasing Advanced Wars with the remake.
Yeah, they're already doing the remake for Switch, so... Yeah.
The only thing is that's $60, so it's really?
Yeah, money.
Yeah, so I think Game Boy Advance would definitely be a good addition to the Switch library. I don't, people are saying they're probably going to do Game Boy games. They could, but, that's not really that exciting. They got some good games on the Game Boy. But it's the original black and white Game Boy. So it's why would you do this one? Of course, the Mario Land games I think are very underrated. And you also got games the Pokemon games on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color are very good. But it's you could do GBA. Do GBA.
Yeah.
That's got a really good library of games, I listed the Castlevania, Metroid Fusion, and Golden Sun, but they got those 3 franchises. They also got a bunch of Sonic games. They got the Mario Advance games. That's another one, although those are mostly remakes, but still. They got games the Zelda games on there. I believe it's Minish Cap, and no, Four Swords is on there, but that requires a connection with the GameCube. But still, they probably wouldn't be able to do Four Swords then. But Minish Cap is a good game. The Pokemon games are good on there. The Kirby games are good on there. The Fire Emblem games are good on there. There's a lot of good stuff to pick to choose from. The Game Boy Advance lineup of games. So yeah, any final thoughts, SquidWario?
So I know this is just a rumor, but I really hope this ends up coming true because honestly, I would love to actually play a Game Boy Advance game. Because again, that's very nostalgic with Nintendo, and really just to see it come back on Switch would actually be pretty cool, and I think it would work out. considering like the Switch is also handheld. So yeah, I really hope this actually happens.
All right. Now I said that that was going to be our last topic, but I remember earlier when we were talking about the briefer topics, and you brought up Sonic and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I said maybe we'll talk about the Olympics because you seem quite into it, SquidWario. we we never talked about it. So want to talk about, since you're the guest, this could be your own little topic. Want to talk about the Olympics a little bit?
Sure. Well, I'm not going to go like crazy in depth, but I will say for spoiler alerts, the USA did end up winning first place and got the most medals from, unlike all like the other countries. And overall, like I'd say my favorite sports that were there this year was like the swimming, the water sports, the track and field and marathon, and basketball. I'd say were my favorite Olympic sports of this year. Really, I say, like, I don't know. This year, I think, was definitely, like, just really special. The fact that it was in Tokyo. And, you know, I think it, like, and obviously the Olympics were supposed to be last year, but it was pushed to this year because of COVID.
Yes, this is basically the
so
2020
I do think
Olympics.
Yeah, because it's technically supposed to be 2020, not 2021. But,
sorry to interrupt.
But yeah, even though we had to wait an extra year, it's still worth the wait, honestly. Like, at least it gave the competitors more time to train and, like, get even stronger, you know? And yeah, and really, like, it's very historical with the Olympics, too, because this is not the first time it's in Tokyo. The first time happened in 1964. So this is the second time that it's actually happening there. And either way, like, it's a good comeback, I feel. And really, like, it was stressful. Like, it was stressful for everyone. And honestly, all the competitors and athletes, it was stressful for, especially because it was, like, a long wait they had to deal with, too, because of COVID. And, like, even now, like, COVID was still kind of a concern still now that it happened. But I'm glad that, like, everything was able to be pulled off by everyone. And it became a success, you know? And I can't wait for the Summer Olympics again in Paris in 2024.
That should be exciting. I didn't watch the Olympics too much this year, but I did see two things. I saw Olympic wrestling, because I actually did wrestle in high school. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, I was a wrestler once. And then I also watched, I think it was hammer throwing, which... That shit's impressive. Like, I wouldn't be able... I would, like, fucking either knock myself out or knock someone else out with it. Like, the fact that they can throw it very far is quite impressive. So, yeah. Anything else to say about the Olympics?
Overall, again, I think this year the Olympics was certainly worth it. Like, you know, like, I think it was just a good way to spend the summer. One thing to do really was just watch the Olympics, you know? But other than that, that's all I really got to say about my summary of everything that happened, you know?
Yep. And I think that's all we got for the podcast. Everyone, thanks for listening or watching. SquidWario, thank you for stopping by again.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm always happy to be here.
Yep. Anything you'd like to plug?
So, yeah, be sure to subscribe to my channel in the description, of course. And, yeah. And also, I do have a Discord server, which will also be in the description below, too. So that's the two spots where you can find me on social media.
Alright. And of course, you can subscribe to me on youtube.com/DPX Solo if you're on SoundCloud right now. And if you're on YouTube right now, go to SoundCloud, link in the description. You can just follow me. I don't even think you have to listen to me like frequently. I think following me does the trick. Also on Twitter, Twitch, got the MeCast Discord server in the description. Anyways, we'll be back in another month. Hopefully I'll get another guest on here. I got a few guests in mind, so, thanks, SquidWario, for stopping by. And,
thanks again.
And, we'll be back in another month. Bye.
Alright, take care, everyone. See ya.